So it's time to give my honest predictions for the BTS comeback. Now, I just want to preface this by saying I'm an idiot. I only recently discovered BTS last year, so, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I might not be privy to information on certain stuff, but just from what I have experienced, the little information that I know and seeing little bits from the community, these are going to be what I think the next couple of years might look like for BTS. Also, don't forget to let me know your opinions down in the comments below. Let me know your predictions. So the first thing that I think we may get is maybe a group photo. Now, this might not sound a lot, but just seeing them all together is going to be such a moment. Now, there may be a group photo before Sugar actually finishes his service, but I think that we may get one beforehand because I believe that J-Hope has his show and I think that they might be there as well. So there's that possibility. And then I think we will get a full reunion group photo when Sugar comes out. And honestly, after that, I think it might be quite soon before we get the first live or like sit down chat or live stream or something like that, where they maybe just talk about their future, their experiences in the military. That's probably the thing I'm most looking forward to, is just seeing, their thought process, what was life like for them during that time as well. I think that would be really, really cool. And I think it would just be great for all of the fans and just for them as well to all be together. Now, I don't know if this next one is going to be a hot take or controversial, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of active stuff happening straight away. In fact, I actually think that they may take a break, which I think they fully deserve. I mean, come on. I think that they may go away as a group just to reconnect, get back together, enjoy each other's company. Now, I don't think that this is going to be kind of like some reality stuff where they have it filmed and stuff. We may get a few pictures, maybe a few little clips here and there, but I think that this will be a good thing for them to go away, think about what they want to do, plan together, just enjoy each other's company and build that chemistry back, because they've been apart for so long now. So I think that that's going to be really, really key for them. And I hope it's something that they really do, because they've been under such intense pressure. BTS are always under pressure, but the anticipation of what's going to be happening when they come back must be so insane that they're going to need time to deflate and just experience normality for a little while. After that, I actually think that we may just see them go into a bit of like a training camp or something like that. They've not been actively singing for a while, dancing for a while. From the videos and pictures that I've seen, they all look like they're in incredible shape, but it might not be the shape that they themselves want going forward. We've seen some of our boys get beefy and I love that look for them, but maybe it's something that when they come back, they don't want to have that. Maybe they need to learn how to get back into shape of dancing, singing and stuff like that. So I think that we actually may see them go into a bit of a boot camp, or, just kind of go away and train for a little while. The kind of way that you see boxers and like UFC fighters do. I think we may see that, and maybe we'll get some clips and some snippets like that, but I think it might be a little bit quieter than you think. And after a period of time, I think we might get maybe a one-off performance or something, like a single song video performance or something like that, whether that be a Run BTS, although that would be quite a lot because it's such a heavy choreo song. Maybe they might want to come back with it something a bit lighter or something a little bit less intense. I think 0 O'Clock would be a great one as well. I think it'd just be like symbolic of coming back, or maybe even something from old school, like No More Dream or something like that. I don't know. But I definitely think we might get maybe a one-up performance, or maybe kind of like a sit-down performance. I don't know, but I think we might get something. Now, I think one of the big talking points when it comes to BTS return is, when are we going to get new music? And I think that people are saying, we might get an album before the end of the year. I don't think that's the case. I actually think we may get a single by the end of the year, like a return comeback single. But I think that would probably be the most that anyone should expect them to kind of have, just because there's so much, they might have done some work prior to going into the military, but then they might have come out and gone, that work that we did beforehand in anticipation of coming back, maybe that's not who we are anymore. Maybe we want to do something now. It's going to take time. That was something that I wondered about, all the stuff that they made pre-military. Maybe by the time it finally came out, they were in a different headspace. You might have thought that by that time they'd moved on from that style, or maybe whatever. We really don't know. And who's to say that that can't be the same for BTS, because there are several moving parts. There's not just one individual. If one person says, I don't like that anymore, maybe I would like to try something new, maybe that's that. And then honestly, I would love this. I would absolutely love maybe like a Christmas performance or something, I think that would be cool. Maybe just something to just be maybe we haven't had a single, or maybe we have, but this is one thing going into the new year, this is our first Christmas back. Let's do something special, maybe a performance. And then maybe as a Christmas present to ARMY, we can get Dang on Spotify. I don't know. That would be awesome, guys. Let me know what you think there. Also, another factor to think about is solo stuff. I'm sure that there are some of the boys that would probably like to do more solo stuff as well, because they didn't get the chance to do it. Jungkook being one of them, because I think that he went in quite soon after Golden was released. I'm not entirely sure. I might be wrong, but like I could see him wanting to do a tour or something like that. And there's all these rumors, of course, you know, Jungkook tour coming. It's kind of like, is the tour in the room with us? Does Jungkook know about this? But we genuinely don't know. There's, you know, obviously we've got Jin's tour, which I'm going to. So happy. If you're going to London night one, let me know. But that's going to be going way into August of this year. So there's no reason why they might not want to work on some of their own stuff. Sugar as well is another one that I feel like the guy's a poet. There's no way he's not going to be writing stuff as well. And I don't know. I could see them maybe wanting to do some stuff. I would love a Jimin tour. I mean, that would be unbelievable. V as well. But it really depends on what they want to do. And I feel like that might be a change of BTS as a structure going forward. And we'll talk about some of that going forward, because I think I have a hot take. I think that we may get the full abandonment of the traditional K-pop comeback cycle. Now, BTS, we know, are head and shoulders above anyone else in size. They do not need to keep doing the comeback every couple of months just to keep themselves, you know, like in the frame. People, I mean, I think that they're artists at heart. I think that they want to make records. I don't think that they want to have to rush art out and, you know, get things out. Then we've got to do a Japanese album. Then we've got to do another mini album. We've got to do this. And then all the performances in between. I think that they may have found some newfound appreciation for just how well supported they are since they've been away. They may come back and, you know what, maybe we don't need to do this way. You know, we don't need to worry about breaking into this market. Like, we are BTS. We can do whatever we want. I think we may see them do the kind of like traditional Western style thing of the album comes when it's out. If it's a couple of years, that's fine, you know, because, you know, that's kind of what we used to. I grew up with that, you know, before I knew about K-pop, I thought that's how all albums were done. But in that way, it means artists don't have to rush their work. They can create the work that they want to. I'm sure that they've put out songs that they probably weren't thrilled about. I know there's big debates online about, you know, the English songs, whether they really truly like them. Maybe they grew to like them eventually, but I mean, there's no doubt that it did so huge for them at the Grammy nominations and everything else. They may want to come back and do that. We know Jungkook has done an album in English, so it's not like they all hate it. I don't know. I mean, that's also projection and rumors. We don't know. But I would actually love to see them take their time, bring an album out whenever they like, not have to force things, you know, not have to do the circuit of promos and interviews that they might not appreciate. They just want to release albums and tour them to the world. And we know that they love being on stage. So I think we could see a shift in mentality. And then I would not be surprised if the industry follows suit, because we know that the industry loves to follow what BTS do because they're so successful. You know, don't get me wrong, not all groups will be able to maintain that, you know, their popularity may dwindle and, you know, but I mean, we're even seeing the impact. I mean, like, you think about, I'm filming this on Sunday, the 8th. How many releases have we got coming out the week of BTS coming back? I'm just saying, and that's not shade, by the way. I love a lot of these groups, and I would do the same if I was them. I mean, come on, it's BTS. Which leads me on to when I think we may get a BTS album, and I think it may be early next year, but maybe not so early. I'm thinking maybe like March, April, May, if they are gonna go down that route, because they're gonna have to get back into singing again. They gotta write again, figure out choreography. They've got so much to do. I think that may be the one, and honestly, I would like them to take their time. I don't want them to be pressured and feel like, oh, we've got to do this, because they don't. This is BTS. They can do whatever they like. And I think going down that route would probably be best for them as well. And it'd give us something exciting going into next year, especially if we did get a single at the end of the year. I mean, that's enough for us to eat on. I mean, think about it. We haven't had BTS for so long anyway. Do you know what I mean? And then I think we may get a tour. And I think the tour will be in the later half of 2026 going into 27. And I really, really hope that they take their time and go about it in the way that is going to be best for them as well. I also think the way that their shows may be slightly different. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they come back. I do have a feeling that when they do solo stages, we may be getting their individual solo music rather than BTS solo music, you know, like Epiphany, Euphoria, that type of stuff. I think we may get RM doing Come Back to Me, although I would kill to see him play Heaven. That's my favorite song off that album, but you never know. You know, we might see Jungkook do something off Golden, Jimin off something off Muse or Face, V off a layover, you know what I mean? Like, we might see some of that stuff, which I think would be really, really cool, because maybe by this time they haven't had a chance to do their solo endeavors the way that they want to, and this is a way to tour and play some of those songs to audiences that have never seen them. And this one is like a grand, hopeful idea, and this is because I'm new ARMY, but I would love to see them do something relatively like Eras Tour Taylor Swift style, where they go through their catalog and kind of like do it as not so much as like a heavy album cycle tour, but more of like a we're back tour. We're going to go through our catalog, a celebration tour. I would love that, because You know, there are songs from back in the, I mean, I've never seen BTS. I've not been a fan since they've been active, but I would love to see them go through an entire catalog. Maybe not a 4-hour show, of course, but maybe like 1 or 2 songs per album cycle or something like that. You know, I think that would be really, really nice, but they might want to celebrate some of those old songs, you know, have a bit of nostalgia, maybe the songs that they didn't think that they liked anymore. Now that they're back, they appreciate them in a different way. We don't know, but that would be really, really cool. Also, here's another thing. I think that BTS, their strategy is going to be very different going forward. I think that we may have an on and off solo BTS pivot. I think that since they've come out and started doing their solo works, I think that they're going to have a passion and a drive for those just as much as they do having BTS work together. And they're going to have, I mean, we've seen, like, even with Jin's album, like he was trying country stuff. You know, we look at what RM has done. RM's album was so slept on, and I don't think it was talked about enough of how experimental and brave that album was. And then we've got UNCUT doing the kind of like Western breaking into that sort of stuff. And then obviously V, what he's doing, and all of them have got such individual tastes. I think I would love to see them explore that a little bit. So whether that's, you have like not mini hiatuses, but breaks where you're constantly having BTS overall, but maybe it's a period of time where they all do solo stuff and then they come back together, BTS, and then solo stuff and then BTS. I think that that could be something, and I think that that might be good for the longevity of BTS. Keep them happy, sustained, not feeling like, oh, we've got to do, you know, the other guys, they want to do this and I want to do this, but we, you know, maybe it doesn't work for BTS, so I don't get to kind of release that side of me, that passion. I don't know, that's a projection. It might be a hot take, but I would love to see them doing this because I love their solo stuff so much. And now maybe that's because that's all I've kind of really experienced is getting into BTS, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And then perhaps maybe we get some variety stuff back. Maybe we start seeing Run BTS, but maybe not as much, maybe like one-off kind of things, maybe the odd trip, maybe a documentary about the return. That I would love to see. I would love it if they documented, you know, from day one and they made like a documentary about it. I think that would be really, really cool. Just to kind of just see the behind the scenes, what really goes into it, you know, because there's no way that any army in the world could ever understand the pressures and just the work that is going in right now. So I would love to see that. But guys, let me know your thoughts. What are your opinions? Let me know. Have you got any kind of hot takes that you think maybe people haven't thought of this? Maybe, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on my opinions as well. Is there any that you agree with, disagree with? Let me know. Just as a heads up as well, of course, this is all speculation. I will support them, whatever they do. I absolutely adore BTS, and I just want to see the best version of them as possible. So, of course, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm an idiot. You already know that. But guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.